Hey guys, RTT back here for the video, guys. Today we're going to talk about a 7-month review of the RTX 3090. Now, in the 3090 on October 16th, I paid $2,200. Now, that is a lot of money, okay? That's $700 more than the actual retail price of the unit. And in all honesty, if you want the unit right away whenever it comes out, you either right there when it comes out, but bots were killing it, or you get the scalper's price, okay? That's just how it works. You can't kind of get around that. So either you wait or you pay the scalper's price. I paid the scalper's price and I got $2,200. I also technically got scammed because it says codes included. He never gave me the codes. So anyway, that's beside the point. It's not really a big deal to me, but it kind of does, suck for that fact. But anyway, though, like I said, $2,200, good money, a lot of money. But what did I get from this 3090? So if you guys did not see, I bought the NZXT Creative PC right before they came out with the brand new unit that had a 3090 in it. Yeah, I could have got a 3090 for the same price I paid for the original NZXT Creative PC. Now, based on understanding that card, that 3090 is the blower card. This is a Founder Edition. So, again, it all depends. I don't 100% know it's a blower card. I heard it's a blower card. So, again, it doesn't really matter. If it is a blower card, I still want the Founders Edition of the card. So, I'd still probably sell that card and get a Founders Edition of the card. Would have gotten it cheaper, clearly, but you live and you learn, whatever the case. So when I bought this, I also went ahead and put in my 1,000-watt power supply in this NZXT build, and I went ahead and so I could have enough power to run this 3090. Now, a quick disclaimer, do not ever, 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 ever change your power supply unless you know what you're doing. And the reason why I say that, guys, is because I made a video about it. I had to take the video down because of the fact I changed a 1,000-watt power supply out for the 750-watt power supply over here. I did not know what I was doing, and what I didn't know was that you should never ever do that. Now, I did it. I switched power supplies on PCs. Everything was fine. That PC ran fine. That PC ran fine. I thought I was fine to move on. Everything was fine in life. Well, I went ahead and built a PC last year, and I made the biggest mistake. I went ahead and used the 750 power supply from the NZXT build, thinking, oh, no big deal at all, right? I'm going to go ahead and put that in this, AMD build. Well, it actually did work. And I was like, okay, everything was fine. So I was like, okay, no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and buy a 1,000-watt power supply off Amazon, put it in that same build, and use the same cables. This is where I made a mistake. That power supply right there, I use exactly the same cables from the NZXT power supply for that 1,000-watt power supply. For the power supply over there, I use the exact same cables. That is a big no-no. I'm not trying to make this the whole video, but guys, I'll tell you this right now. I freaking had my PC out there smoking like crazy because I destroyed the power supply, the liquid cooling unit, the motherboard, and I fried the fan controller. Because, guys, when I say this, I can't stress enough. When you get a power supply, use only the cables from that power supply. Do not use cables from your old power supply if you're upgrading your power supply. What's going to happen if you do that is you're going to go ahead and fry your stuff. A 14-pin connector on one power supply, one cable, and another power supply, another cable are not the same always. Sometimes this power supply gives a certain amount of volts. This power supply gives the same amount of volts. Could be the same cable, different voltage. Don't make the same mistake I did. All right, anyway, though, guys, nonetheless, that ran aside. Here is the build I have for the NZXT build. So we have an i9 9900K, or X, sorry, 9900, is that X? I can't read that K, I think it is. I think it's 9900K. 3090, obviously, Founders Edition. We have 64 gigabytes of RAM. We have, decent storage, decent everything else. So that is what I've been going ahead and using for the last around 7 months. Now, I have videos on the channel benchmarking this 3090. And I'll say one thing, 3090 is a monster, okay? It's a monster. Now, at the end of the day, your GPU is only as good as your CPU, right? So if your GPU is amazing, but your CPU is crap, you're not going to get the frames you want. You're not going to get the power you want out of that GPU no matter what it is. Okay? So the question is, next thing is, and based on my review, I have a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor right here. It's 1440p, and it's also 160 hertz. I have a monitor right here, which is full 4K. it's 32 inches and it's 60 hertz, right? So starting off right away, the only monitor I can benchmark on is this monitor right here. 34 inch is 160 hertz, right? So the most FPS I can get in any game is 160 hertz. 160 FPS. Now, I can get more, obviously, but the only I can see is 160 FPS. Now, the games I benchmark when I play all the time are GTA 5. I play the new Call of Duty. I play, Cyberpunk. I play the new Resident Evil. I think a lot of different games. Trying to my best to see, is this really a big deal? Because, guys, I came from a 2080 Ti. I bought a 2080 Ti. Obviously, came with the NZXT build, and I'm going based on that. And I will say one thing, okay? You don't need a 3090. And that's something that, I was told a lot going into this. Going into paying $2,200 plus tax, $2,300, $2,400. I was told you don't need a 3090. And I didn't listen. I was naive. I was kind of like, hey, listen, I want the best of the best. I don't care what you say. Well, at the end of the day, you gotta listen to this, guys. Now, the 3090 is a great card. After 7 months, what would I rate this card? A 10 out of 10. Now, my personal use is not just gaming. That's the big thing. If you're gaming and gaming alone, this 3090 is not worth the money. For just gaming alone, I give this card a 5 out of 10. The reason why is because you can get better for cheaper. You can get similar performance for a cheaper price. Now, what I like to do is I like to use Blender. I like to use 3D animations. I like to video edit. I like to go ahead and use Sony, Photoshop, Premiere. I use a bunch of applications. I have 5 different YouTube channels. I do photography. I do 3D animation. I like to really get the most out of my 3090. For my use and my use only, it's a 10 out of 10. I recommend it if you are in a similar boat as me and this is what you want to do. Now, if you personally, like I said, are just going for gaming, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I can't recommend it. Right now, I'm not sure what they're going for right now, currently the 3090s, but unless you get it for less than $1,500, which you're not going to because it's still new, I couldn't recommend doing it. The 3080, if you can get for the exactly retail, it's definitely worth it. If you can get a big Navi for retail, it's even more worth it for gaming purposes. But if you are into that 3D graphic design, you're going to love it. You're really going to love it. And I will say, obviously, I don't have the best CPU out there. I have a 9900K. I know 10600K, I think, is one of the best. And then I know they have the 11th generation now, and that's just a joke. But, if you are rocking a PC right now, right, and you are into 3D graphic design, first off, probably wouldn't go Intel. I'd probably go AMD, in all honesty, the Ryzen 9 chips. And then I'd probably go with either, again, like I said, you could go with 3090 or you could go with a big Navi maxed out. The 6800 XT, I believe it is, so 6900 XT. I'd probably go with those. But if you really are convinced I want a 3090 and you do those things, 100% go for it. Pull the trigger right now. Do it. Do it right now. But if you don't, if you're not convinced and you don't do those things and you're sitting there saying, well, I want it for gaming, trust me, I wish I would have watched a video of someone saying this before I bought the card. Because everyone said, hey, if you really want the best of the best, here you go. No. If you want the best of the best, get a 3080. If you want the best of the best. Save your money and get a better CPU. Because if you don't, you're going to be ticked off when you spend all that money on a 3090 and it's going to perform, especially if your components, like I have a $1,200 monitor right here, guys. I have a $400 monitor right here. If you don't have this and you say you rock it on a 1080p or 1440p 60 hertz on both monitors, you're not even going to get the most out of it. So who cares? Get a 3080, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment down below. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.